Hey guys, this is Ryan, and this is my week 8 video discussing friendship and solidarity. And this is a topic for me that has changed over time, and I'll explain that. Um, when I first started transitioning, or I guess before I started transitioning, but when I started thinking about it, about 6.5 years ago now, I was super eager to meet other trans guys. It was really important for me to meet someone else who had a similar experience to myself and to meet someone who was visibly transitioning because I really needed to see what that looked like for myself instead of just seeing, um, pictures or watching videos of strangers. It was really something I wanted to see for myself with someone I knew. Um, so I was really actively seeking out friendships in the trans community. Um, but what I kind of encountered was it really turned me off. I ended up meeting some guys who um, seemed cool enough at first, but it turned out that transition in the process of becoming visibly male, it turned into a competition. And I don't know if other guys have really experienced this, but it was really unsettling to me because I was really just seeking friendship and to, just know that another trans person existed that I could talk to about, my thoughts and feelings about transition, um, the changes I was going through and the changes I would encounter dating, etc., etc. Um, but instead, it was just, I felt like there's a lot of backbiting in the trans community and a lot of judgment was being passed about being male enough or being trans enough. And I just, that wasn't for me. I pretty much just dropped those friends that I had and decided, like, if that's what being trans was about and having friendships with other trans people, if that's what that was about, I didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I went several years without having any other trans person as a friend at all. I might be friends with someone in an online community, but no one that I would ever hang out with in my day to day life or discuss things with intimately. And that kind of changed, I guess, about 2.5 years ago, I guess. I was living in the Bay Area briefly with my girlfriend, and there's a big trans population there. So it was really cool for me, like, to start meeting other trans guys. And I ended up being pretty good friends with 3 or 4 guys when I was there. And even if we just hung out on the weekends, it was really fun for me to find a group of guys I could just totally be myself with. I could talk about my female history, and talk about transitioning and everything I'd experienced in like a really non-judgmental and comfortable place. And I don't know if this was a difference in the people I was hanging out with or if it was just because we were all far enough in our transitions and comfortable enough that there was no um, competitive spirit there. But it was a completely different experience for me, and it made me like really happy to have a group that I could belong to and identify with. Um, so yeah, I ended up moving back to the Midwest though about a year ago, and I guess a little bit longer than that, a year and a half ago. And I don't know any trans people here. Um, yeah, I don't really have many friends here anyway, but I definitely don't have any transgender friends. But I'm still eager to make connections with other trans people, and I've kind of been using social networking outlets online to do that. Um, I'm part of a group in Indianapolis for female to male transgender people. And while I don't actively attend meetings, I am part of their list serve. So even if I don't feel like going and introducing myself, I can still read what other people are writing in and help people answer questions. And it's also been a tremendous resource of information for me. Like a couple of months ago, I was like really desperate to find a doctor to prescribe more testosterone because my old doctor was in California. And so I used that listserv to kind of get connected and get the information I needed, to just go about my business. But now I do have trans friends that I'm meeting online. I'm becoming really good friends with a guy that lives in Colorado, and it's just like really fun, to like talk to him, and he's just starting out, so it feels kind of like it's very much a friendship, but it's also really cool because I feel like I kind of get to be a mentor for him in a way, and I kind of get to answer some of his questions and provide feedback. So, yeah, it's becoming more important to me now to develop those friendships and to have people in my life that I feel like I can just disclose everything about my past to for the most part and not have to hold anything back. And I think in the beginning of my transition, after the eagerness wore off and I decided to kind of withdraw and not have any transgender friends, part of that was also because I was kind of trying to distance myself from other trans people. Um, because while I was transitioning, I didn't want to be associated with being transgender. And which is really important because that's going to be talked about in the internalized transphobia video I do next. Um, but yeah, I was like really just trying to distance myself from that, and just I hung out with a bunch of straight people all the time who didn't know about my past, and that felt really good, to not have to think about it or talk about it because it was still so fresh. The first couple of years of transition were very, very raw and emotional for me. Um, and it was something that I didn't really want to have to talk about. I felt completely talked out about it and thought out about it, and it actually became a problem in one of my relationships. She was saying, all you ever do is talk about being transgender and talking about transition and achieving the next step on your to-do list. First it was your name change, and then it was chest surgery, and now it's working out all the time. And she was like, when is it going to stop? When are you going to stop being so consumed with this? And for everyone out there that's transitioning, you know how much time it takes to think about this stuff. It's not like you're going to the store and you're picking out what pair of shoes you want to buy. It's like you're changing the rest of your life. The rest of your life as you know it. You're altering every relationship and friendship that you have currently, and that is a big deal. That requires a tremendous amount of thought, I think. Um, so, I guess to wrap this up, I am starting again to develop friendships in the trans community. I'm starting to be a more visibly trans person. Um, Not that I'm shouting it from the rooftops or coming out to people that know me, but I am starting to get more connected online. I'm taking part in this video collaboration project, and it's all in an effort for me to, reach out, meet other guys, help other guys, and to develop some sort of community. So, yeah, that wraps up this week 8 video. I'm going to turn around and do my week 9 video, which is internalized transphobia, and then the week 10 video for this week, sexuality and dating. So I'll talk to you guys in a minute.